Alrighty, another week around the trash fire. Your host, Mathias, along with the boy,
John.
Well, we have a lot of stuff to talk about today.
Yeah, we did skip a week, so the news has been piling up. But there's also a preview, so.
Yes, and we didn't even get to do our predictions for the preview. It's so sad. I really wanted to do it. There's also some other lore news that I didn't get to talk about either, which we'll talk about today. And a bunch of other fun stuff. Speaking of fun stuff, John, have you gotten Darktide yet?
I have not gotten Darktide yet.
Well,
I think I'll probably get it from my PlayStation. I don't think it's out yet on the PlayStation.
Wait, you got a PS5?
A PS4.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna be one of those people. One of the elite of the elite. But yeah, here we go. Darktide, more news, kind of. So they're having another beta test going around right now. As someone who pre-ordered it, I did get to play a little bit more of the beta. They added a prologue, kind of like the prologue in what's it called? Vermintide 2.
Okay.
Where if you played the original beta, it was kind of just like here's a little tutorial room and just do these actions. Now it has story going towards it, so that's good. And I'm happy with it. I know it's getting a little bit of mixed reviews here and there, but overall, it's still pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I was reading the reviews, and it's the kind of the bad reviews are the bad reviews that are good. And by that, I mean, it's a lot of like performance issues and needs more content, which is fixed by more content. It's kind of like, I think the best example is Star Wars Battlefront. Star Wars Battlefront was saved just by updates.
Mm-hmm.
And at launch, it was a terrible game. Terrible enough to make the news regarding loot boxes and gambling. But, and now it's an amazing, one of the best Star Wars games, in my opinion, having played it quite a bit. Just because they kept releasing updates. And Darktide, but I've heard it has performance issues, and there just needs to be more content. But the game itself the gameplay is great, right? They nailed that apparently, and according to what you have said, you could attest to that. So
yeah, I mean they're continually adding stuff. I mean, you're not gonna get the full game in a beta test,
right?
You're gonna get some of it. The majority of it you're not gonna get. This is why it's called a beta.
And if you look at, gosh, what is that called? If you look at Vermintide, Vermintide wasn't good at launch, if people remember. And it's one of those games that got better as got more content. And this is the feature for Darktide.
Pretty much any big shark game so far, I'm surprised that Vermintide 2 keeps still getting updates. I thought it was like a very old game, but
yeah, that's good, right?
It still gets content every once in a while.
Speaking of 40k games, though, I have been playing the mobile game Tacticus, and as far as dumb mobile games go, it's a pretty good dumb mobile game with a Warhammer skin.
Is that the like hexagon battle one?
Yes, that one's actually quite fun.
I see.
Yeah, you just gotta have some self-control and
not spend money for the life.
They have this thing. I've spent like $20 so far, and I don't think I'll be spending any crazy more amounts of money. But it's like $20 game. I've had fun. But it's one of those, it's definitely a mobile game where it tempts you to spend more money. Like, there's a resource called Blackstone, which is kind of like the premium resource. And it's like, oh, your first Blackstone purchase is doubled. And it's like, so if I spend $100 on Blackstone, I'm getting like a crap ton of Blackstone. I'm not going to spend $100 on
life saving.
But it is tempting. It is tempting.
Oops. Interesting. Yeah, not gonna catch me with that. Is that a gacha game, or is that like, you know what a gacha game is, right?
What's a gacha game?
It's a game where pretty much you're gambling to see if you can get the best unit. So there's
No,
there's like a
thankfully not.
starry system usually associated with it.
Yeah, it does have an upgrade system, but it's a game I feel where you don't pay to get better, you pay for more content, or at least it seems that way. Like, I mean, the main use of Blackstone. I mean, you could use Blackstone to buy upgrades, but even like I haven't really even bothered with that. I've just been using my Blackstone to roll for more characters, and just having more characters, right? Not necessarily like, I mean, some characters like Abaddon's better than Terminator, but I think for me, I see the at least the game is presented in a way where the money is going towards more content, i.e., more characters, and it's kind of cool seeing, and they're like unique characters and not just like random losers. It's, oh, here's a cool Emperor's Champion, or here's a Farseer, stuff like that. And yeah, it's grindy, but so are all mobile games. But it's fun if as just a time waster if you just wanna you just wanna click some buttons and watch your 3D Farseer do stuff, or your 3D Orc or Necron do stuff. It's kind of fun that way.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, anyways,
Either way, we're still waiting for Dawn of War 4.
we're still where I'm waiting. Yeah, Dawn of War 3. We're still waiting for Dawn of War 3. That'll come out eventually. Moving on though, from our video game news, got some interesting lore news. Commissar Yarrick might be dead? Question mark. So they're actually getting rid of another Imperial Guard character.
I mean, if you ask me, they're making too much of a big deal out of this for him to be gone forever. I could see him being so. Honestly, at this point, it's more, we should just make predictions about what's going to happen with the Yarrick, how he's going to come back, because
Okay.
he's going to come back.
Let's go. What is your theory?
My theory. So there's the realistic theory and there's the bonkers theory. The realistic theory is he will come back as an Imperial Saint, like Celestine. Celestine did die-ish at a point. Oh, that's why he came back. I mean, Imperial Saints die and come back, right?
Right,
So
of
there's that.
course.
The bonkers theory is he will be the first 40k human dreadnought. Because in 30k they exist. There are humans and dreadnoughts. They're not as cool as Space Marine dreadnoughts, but they exist. So I could feel that they're gonna bring back Yarrick as a dreadnought in 40k. That would be kind of crazy and cool.
Oh, I thought the bonkers theory was my theory.
Oh yeah, I think I know where this is going.
Okay, so hear me out here, okay? Who is gonna be the most hurt by Yarrick's death?
It's the Orc community. They are going crazy.
It's gonna be Ghazghkull, okay? And then when Ghazghkull goes to get his hateful revenge against Angron, because I'm gonna predict that Angron's gonna kill Commissar Yarrick. Given that, I mean, I don't know how the banishing works, but I know bits and pieces of lore that Angron is like sealed in Armageddon or banished in Armageddon, something like that. So Yarrick's gonna die in Armageddon when the far, far future happens and Ghazghkull finally kills Angron. The wall manifestation of Yarrick's gonna be there with Ghazghkull, and they're both gonna kill Angron. That is my theory. It's just gonna be a wall manifestation. No dreadnought, no nothing.
So Orc related comeback.
Yes.
There you go.
Ghazghkull's will is gonna be so strong. It's gonna bring him back.
Okay. Right.
As a wall manifestation. That is my theory. Is that ever gonna happen? Most likely not. But you never know with some of these
Exactly. You
writers.
never know. You just never know.
But it is interesting to see that they have yet killed off yet another IG special character. Because I'm trying to think, does IG have that many special characters?
So right now, there's the new guy. There are Gaunt's Ghosts. There is.
Yeah, but Gaunt's Ghosts aren't in the Imperial Guard book, right?
No, they are. They're in the Codex as a unit.
Okay.
Yeah, there is. That's
that's it, right? I mean, there's Creed's daughter,
Yes, there's Creed's daughter. That's right.
but that's so Creed, Lord, uh, Solar Man.
Commander Pask is there. Straken is there, and that's it, I believe.
Whittling them down. Oh well, there we go. So, how does this make you feel about Yarrick? Since you're more lore heavy than me.
I mean, obviously he'll be back. He is a money making machine. He'll, like bringing him back will make Games Workshop money, so that's why we'll do it. But I am curious to see what his story is gonna be like specifically. How, because right now it's just there's no lore. There's just kind of like he's dead. Here's his memorial.
Yeah.
Like the article we posted has that's his code. That's the codex entry. That the Gloria Yarrick image. That's his code. That's all it has for Yarrick regarding his fate and what happened to him. So
What is your theory?
yeah, we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think they'll kill him off. He's too popular of a character for them to remove. I don't recall the last time that's happened after Fantasy died, where they removed a character that was popular from the game.
Reed.
Right, but his daughter's there. There's like that kind of remake. They
True.
They added his daughter, and he's trapped in Trazen's vault, kind of thing. Not like he's gone forever.
True. How do you think he died? Just a theory.
Old age would be interesting. I think it's that would be the most interesting reason, because it's very not 40k, and it kind of shows that this guy has been fighting all his life. Eventually, he's mortal. He's not a space marine, right? He's not a Primarch. He's not a demon. He's not an Eldar. He will eventually succumb to old age. So I think that would be an interesting way. And then him coming back would be, well, actually, I'm not, it's the Emperor saying, or whatever Powers Imperial saying that, yeah, even though his mortal life is over, the long war never ends, or whatever, right?
If he died of old age, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that. He deserves it. He deserves to die happily, hopefully. Hopefully he doesn't have dies a horrible way. But old age I can accept. Dying to Angron, I can accept. That's my theory. He dies to Angron. But yeah, more interesting lore and progression through 40k happening now. But enough about all this. Let's get to the models here. We got our Sunday preview, and we're getting our Age of Sigmar boxes. So the Daughters of Cain, the Squigoths. I don't know why I call them Squigoths. The Squigs, the Night Haunt, Cruel Boys, the Rat Boys, and the Storm Shields, or Stormcast, and Sylvaneth. Oh, we went over all that like 2 weeks ago. Some of these were good buys. None of them are like terrible, but
if you got one of them for free, what would you pick?
If I got one of them for free, ooh, one of them for free. Well, I can tell you, Stormcast, Cruel Boys, Squigs are all off the table. I can tell you that much. It would be a toss-up between Daughters of Cain and Sylvaneth.
Oh, okay.
Just because I like the Sylvaneth models.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be a toss-up between those two.
Okay.
We're getting the character, the Curseling Eye of Zinch, on his own finally. I might pick this up just because it's a cool model. We're getting the elf one, the Cenari Enlightener. Hopefully I said that right. Coming up, that's where the Zinch and High Elf battle box that came out like 2 months ago, I think. Or was it 3? Either way, 2-player box set. Finally, individual models coming out Warcry. We're getting the newest one, Sundered Fate. The
new box set. Yep.
I'm sure if I scroll down, I'll know what their names are. The Wizardmen and the Crystal Guardians. Is that what they're called? Jade Obelisk. That's what
Jade Obelisk. Weird name, but cool warband. Super cool warband.
Yes, I agree. I said I was gonna pick this up, but probably when it's sold on its own, not now. But we got that. We got the boxes. Got the terrain. The horns of Hashut. The dark dwarves, the chaos dwarves, god worshippers made human, I guess, or human worshippers of the chaos dwarf god, coming out on their own. The swamps, the Rotmire. I'll probably pick this up since they're on their own. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, super cool.
Rotten Ruin, the campaign book, coming out. Returning Warcry bands. I assume these are nothing. I don't. This just all returning. You can pick up. So I guess they're just selling these back again. Am I reading that right?
Yeah, I think a lot of them are out of stock, so this is just their rebox. So they're all gonna come back at once. They're all gonna be restocked at once.
There you go. So if you want to pick any of these up, go for it. Get them. They're all. It's Warcry. They're all majority really good models.
Mm-hmm.
Returning monsters. If you want the monsters, some of them are key for certain missions. Warcry dice. Ugly. Don't care about any of these.
These are actually terrible. Some other dice, I think, oh, they're not for me, but these are bad. I think. This is not a waste of money. I would actually say.
Yeah, that white bone color dice right there. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Maybe because it's a white background that I have this on right now, but this is I can barely read those dice.
Yeah, they look terrible.
Blood Bowl, I don't care about, but here we go. We got a Death match. Sorry.
Dungeon Bowl, not Blood Bowl. Well, kind of Blood Bowl. It's Blood Bowl.
It's the sewer Blood Bowl. I think, right?
Yeah, it's a dungeon crawling Blood Bowl.
I like to say sewer, but
Sewer Blood Bowl.
To each their own, I guess. The Almanac.
It's just the rules.
Yes. Get that. Forge World. We're getting the Legion. The Night Lords. The Iron Hands, which we'll go over later, coming out. Black Library, Sanguinius, special edition book.
And it's Chris Rate. Heck yeah, I am excited for this. Definitely picking this up. Probably audiobook because Jonathan Keeble will probably be reading it. And if not, I will just pick up the novel and read it. But this is exciting, 110%.
You're not gonna pick up the special edition book?
No.
And just have it like in a glass case.
And just not read it.
And just not read it. Still in shrink wrap. All right.
I do wonder what this book is going to contain, though, because in the latest Siege of Terra book, they do have some chapters with flashbacks about Sanguinius and him meeting Blood Angels for the first time, and there's a lot of characterization there.
Oh, it says right here.
So
the great angel follows a discredited remembrancer who tries to uncover the truth behind the legend of the brightest one.
Yeah, so maybe we'll see more of his upbringing. That would be kind of cool.
We'll see.
Chris Rate is one of my favorite Black Library authors, so this will probably be good.
Oh, there you go. Get it audio, digital, soft cover. We got that. We got Souls Drinker Omnibus 2. I assume this is just a compilation of Emperor's Children stories.
No, Soul Drinker's chapter, not the Emperor's Children.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay then. We got that. We got Hollow Ground becoming softcover as the Witch Hunters. Is that the right term to use for these things?
Yep, the Witch Hunters.
Witch Hunters, okay. We got the 12 Tales eShort subscription event going on. Cool if you want it. Books being put into French, and Warhammer Plus. We got, looks like some Imperial Guard battle report and a masterclass. No animation this week, which I think last week was a Age of Sigmar Hammer and Bolter. I think I'd have to go back and look at it, but yep, there we go. That is everything coming up for pre-order this Saturday. Lots of stuff to go through. But that's not all. Just moving on, we got the Dawnbringer preview. Wait, yes. So we got some more cities of Sigmar. What would you want to say? Bits to look at.
I'm so hyped for this crap, you have no idea. This is my 2023 army. This is the army I am looking forward to releasing for sure in the next year. More than World Leaders. Definitely looking forward to this. This is hyping me for Age of Sigmar. And it is cool to see the bits. I mean, it's kind of cool. Definitely fancier design than before. More Bretonia than Empire, to be quite honest. But I am all for it. This is, oof. Let's go. Come on, GW. Give me my humans.
They're coming. Don't worry.
Oh yeah.
Bits and Pieces 2023. But there we go. Still in the works. Moving on from that, we got some Necromunda news. We're going to go look at last week's New Model Monday. Got the Wheeler and Dealers coming on over here, which is just some more bounty, or not bounty. What are they called?
Hangers on.
Hangers on. There you go.
Yeah, I really like the guy on the left. But this is just some cool random crap, which is what Necromunda is. It's a bunch of cool random crap.
Yeah, it's nice stuff. It's all unique. It's all world building.
Yep. Love it.
I kind of like the pimp. The exotic animal tamer over there.
Yep.
But yeah, it's all nice, cool looking stuff. Ever expanding your gang. Speaking of expanding the game, we got new Corpse Hunter or Corpse Grinder units. Though they're more hanger on. I believe.
So this actually isn't Corpse Grinder called, interestingly.
It's not.
So it's not. This is the guild that collects corpses because the corpses is a resource. You could use corpses to make food. And this is the guild that runs the corpse grinding industries. Now, the corpse grinders are a cult of corpse. So they're made of the workers that work these corpse grinding factories, and because of grinding corpses all day isn't good for your mental health. So they end up worshipping porn, and then they become corpse grinders. But the industry is legal and part of Necromunda, and these are the representatives of that guild.
It is messed up every time. Every time I learn something new about Necromunda.
Oh yeah, it's so confusing. Love it.
Very cool models though. I do enjoy it, even if it is a bit grotesque. But that model, what do they call this model? What do you call it? I thought they did. The Bone Scrivener?
The Pale Consort and the Bone Scrivener, yeah.
Okay, yeah, the Pale Consort. Okay.
That's the lady.
That's the one I like. That is a beautiful looking model. It's a shame that I cannot paint white because I would really like to paint that model up. Yeah, very cool model. I enjoy it. I might pick it up and just get someone who could paint it for me, just so I can have it. But moving
Yeah.
on from that, we got another Necromunda thing, the Iron Crawler, which is gonna be another vehicle added to the game. Has a little bit of a resemblance, kind of. It didn't have the treads. I think I could almost pass as one of those squat vehicles.
Yeah, right.
Just how similar it is. Though very cool design. I can see this being orcified very nicely.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, any vehicle could be orcified. Let's be real here.
Not wrong.
But good vehicle for orcs. Good vehicle for Gene Stealer Cult. A lot of good stuff for this. A lot of good uses for this vehicle. I assume it's going to be resin, so it's going to be a pain in the ass to build. But there you go. If you want to add another vehicle for your Ash Waste campaign, you have this. Moving on to Heresy Thursday of last week, we got our Iron Hands. Or, sorry, no. This is the 30k narrative. I jumped the gun. This would be more in your area.
Yeah, just some more units for Salamanders and Alpha Legion. These are actually quite. I mean, all these units are unique, but these are pretty cool. The Salamanders unit is a unit of support Marines with combi flamers, so that's new, and they can get a heavy flamer there. It's interesting too because they're kind of cultists. They're Salamanders cultists because Salamanders have cults in them. The Promethean cult, which is Imperial Sanction, right? They worship the Emperor, but it's kind of like the aspect of the Emperor through Vulcan, etc., etc. And they're very into prophecy and stuff, so they get some special rules that lead into that. So to make a leadership test, they get bonuses. And then you got the Alpha Legion unit, which is essentially a scouts or a recon Marine squad with the shotguns that have the Nemesis rounds, and Nemesis rounds they have on a 6 up 2 wound, they ignore essentially their AP2, so they ignore armor saves. And what else? They have it's a kind of cool like disruptor weapon that reduces your leadership if it hits. So that's pretty cool. I mean, they're unique units. They're not a waste, I think. I mean, some of these units are kind of funny, but these are definitely on the more interesting and fun side. And they also, something to mention is both these units have 2 wounds each, which is pretty good considering in 30k Marines only have 1 wound still. So this is cool. I like this for you Salamanders and Alpha Legion players. There's a ton of you guys that are in my meta, so.
You're telling me you Space Marines haven't upgraded to 2 wounds yet? Come on.
No, not on 30k.
Tragic to hear, tragic to hear. Well, moving on to the next real story here. Now the Iron Hands upgrade kit is here. We did see this a little bit in the Sunday preview, but here is a more close-up look. Better look.
Yeah, I like this a lot. This is cool. It's unique. It's a cool variant of the Mark 6 helm that looks very Iron Handsy. Like if you showed me this, I would probably think Iron Hands. Maybe Iron Ores, but for sure Iron Hands. And it's cool enough too that I could see this being used on Tech Marines if you want to head swap. And let's say maybe you want to convert one of your Marines to a Tech Marine and you give him a backpack and you want a more Mechanicus-y helmet. This would be a good add to that. So I could see myself picking up just one set in case I do convert some Tech Marines to add some helmets there. But these are super cool. These are definitely up there in terms of how good they are in the Legion upgrade and Mark 6 helmet line.
I would agree with you. I think these are pretty stunning on how they look. Though the helmetless one looks very, very anime-ish with its
Oh
big
yeah, it's
blue
kind of weird.
eyes.
Yeah.
Uh, but other than that, yeah, these are actually really well done helmets
Hmm.
compared to the others that we've seen. We also got their shoulder pads, which are just shoulder pads, so not too much there. Main
I hate
draw, the
trim
helmets.
actually.
Wait, what did you hate? What do you
I
hate?
actually don't like these shoulder pads because they have a trim. I think the cool thing about Mark 6 shoulder pads is they have no trim, but these ones do, so easily the worst ones for me.
Are these even really Mark 6 if they have trim then?
I know, right? I know, right? Yep. Lame.
But moving on to the other Heresy Thursday of last week, we have Ultramarines. Ultramarines coming in here, which I don't know what really makes these any different. Kind of just look like normal Space Marine heads to me, but
Yeah, I was talking to some friends. I agree. And the Ultramarines in 30K, there's no like middle ground. They're either bland as hell or just like stupidly fancy. Like if you recall the Praetors they released not too long ago, they're so blinged out. And if you look at a lot of their special units like the Suzerain, super blinged out. But then you have this upgrade set, and it's just a Mark 6 with some lines, and three of them have the Ultramarines logo. And okay, that's it. So
yeah, oh, well, I agree with this statement. They are pretty bland.
yeah.
Uh, but and of
I
course
mean,
you
I
got
am going to be playing. I am doing an Ultramarines army soon, and I do not see myself grabbing these at all.
I don't even think we could be friends after I just heard that statement.
Oh yeah.
You're starting an Ultramarine army?
Oh, 100%. 30K Ultramarines are so freaking cool.
I don't. I just I'm lost for words.
No, no, no fear. We'll save you. Read the Bible. Called No, no fear. I seriously though, I used to think Ultramarines were lame as heck, and I read No, no fear, and it's like, wow, that Dan Abnett made them cool.
Okay then, and then we got their shoulder pads with no trim. So these are obviously more superior than the Iron Hands, right?
Yes, no trim. Thank goodness. Getting with the program.
And that is that. From here on out, we will be talking about the good old Warhammer Preview that happened last week or Saturday, I guess, right?
Yes, the Warhammer preview, the random Warhammer preview.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't honestly didn't really know anything about it because I was not paying any attention to any Warhammer news all last week until my group started talking about the stuff in here. I was like, oh, there's something going on right now. So let's jump into it, shall we?
Yeah.
Starting off with Necromunda here. We got House Cawdor, and they got their little robo legs. I don't even know what you want to call these things.
Yeah, these are so silly. And if it's Cawdor, you know, of course they'd have some kind of dinky, weird looking thing for their Ashway stuff.
Yeah, it's not what I would expect from religious fanatics, but not that surprising either.
Hmm.
Being all low tech and everything.
Right.
Though it is missing a lot of candles, so is it really Cawdor if it doesn't have candles everywhere? But yes, there we go. We got that. Them and their little I want to say a word, but I cannot find the word to describe these things. I want to say Dune Strider, but is that even right? Is that a accurate term to call these things?
What was the term?
Dune Strider?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. They stride the dunes.
Anyways, well, that is that. Uh, Not too compelling. Not something I would really go out to get, to be honest. Maybe if we do Ash Waste, I'll buy into it. But as of right now, nah, don't really care too much for it.
I do like that you could probably fit them in a regular game, not necessarily one that needs vehicles. I think that's well, I guess I'm not sure how the bikes fit, the Goliath and Escher bikes fit in regular Necromunda, or if they're more just vehicle centric. Because the Beetle Riders for Ashways Nomads, they do fit in regular games.
Uh-huh.
So that would be kind of cool if these also would fit in regular non-vehicle games.
Oh, I would assume they would fit in non-vehicle games, just given the fact of how small they are. I assume.
Right.
It looks like it's a bike mount base, so it shouldn't be that bad. But we'll see. Moving on from the preview, we got Beastmen, specifically a Beast Lord, doing the classic Beastmen thing of standing there, raising an axe with its mouth open, probably screaming. I feel like this is like every Beastman character.
Yeah, most Beastmen covers have a Beast Lord doing a very similar or even this exact pose. And it's a great model. If I want, a Beast Lord, this is a good Beast Lord. I do wish that they updated the other infantry for Beastmen, like Gores and Ungores are still, almost 20 years old now.
Give them another, 4 years, and they'll get it.
There you
25th anniversary of the Beastmen. Seems like a time to upgrade the models. But yeah, it's whatever to me. It's not really something I really want. But we're
Yeah,
getting
if I
that.
played Beastmen, I would like it. Well, I would also be annoyed that there's no other models besides him or new ones. But I mean, he's a cool Beast Lord. He's a good Beast Lord.
What I am surprised though is that they're just announcing one faction and not a two-player box set. Interesting.
Right, that's true.
But yeah, so that's that. We're getting the book, of course, the tome as they call it. And I think that's pretty much it for AoS. Just kidding, there's more AoS right here. We got the Gloomspites, getting Wolf Riders. So finally updating those models.
Yeah, interesting to see them taking a very classic fantasy trope, which is the Wolf Riders. And yeah, actually, this reminds me, I should check the Old World Facebook groups to see what they think of these, because these are literally just Old World models.
Well, they obviously hate it because it's Age of Sigmar.
That's true, because they're in circle bases.
Yeah, you can't regiment those. Come on now. But we're getting those, and they're getting their book, which again they could have just did two-player box set, but then they'd probably have to make a new Gloomspite character as well.
Maybe the box set will have Gloomspite versus Beastmen. They'll just announce it randomly, and it's going to have these new models.
Would be weird, but I could
Yeah.
see I could see it. I could see it happening. And then they gave us a roadmap as well. So looking like Bone Reapers and have Nighthaunt gotten their book? Yeah, Nighthaunt's gotten their book. What are the undead factions out there?
Flesh Eaters?
No, they got their book, right?
I'm not sure. Did they?
I
Let
thought
me
they
see.
did.
Let's look at the website. Because Chaos could be Nurgle? I don't even know what are the updated battle tomes now.
Either way, it's gonna be two undead 2 chaos,
Yeah, fire.
and
Yeah, flesh
one
eaters have not been updated yet.
and one order in the spring. So it's gonna be a lot of AoS
Yeah,
releases.
probably gonna be Bone Reapers, Flesh Eaters, Blades of Corn, and Nurgle.
Nergal. And then
Even
obviously
Knights,
that
maybe?
order
Probably.
tome
I
will
think Even
be
Knights for Nurgle. Yeah.
obviously that order tome right there.
Right. Sorry, Maggot can't have gotten a book, so it's gonna be Slaanesh.
No. And the order book will be Cities of Sigmar, obviously.
The spring one or the summer one?
The spring one.
No, I think it's gonna be the summer one. I don't think they'll just drop CDs on spring. That's probably gonna be Caradrons or something. Either
Probably.
Caradrons or
I know it's gonna be this summer because it's the only
yeah,
book there.
summer would be Cities of Sigmar. That is the hype.
Given what did you say the month is? May or June? June's the
So
biggest month.
I don't think it's gonna be June because June is we have to beat last year's hype. It's probably gonna be 10th edition this year. So it's gonna be like May or July or something. Or early June, not like late June, not like the important June.
Well, we'll see. We shall
Yeah.
see. And that is that. The other AOS we have is the Gnarlwood. We got the Bad Moon gang coming, which we predicted to be correct given the hints that they gave us.
Yep.
Of course,
Yay.
it's just goblins being goblins. I like the leader.
If you like goblins, this is great. If you don't like goblins, this sucks. I don't know if they'll make it like goblins. This doesn't make me like goblins, so
I like the leader. Everything else is whatever. I like the slingshot. The slingshot squig. That's funny. But I mean, goblins being goblins. So, not enough for me to actually go out and buy it. Even though it is all great looking models. Moving on from that. What am I trying to say here? The books, the new narrative books for 40k. The Arks of Omen have been revealed. The first 3 books. So we got Abaddon, Angron, and Vastor.
yes.
All to
No
set up the
match
new one.
stuff, thankfully. Which they have said. It's just gonna be narrative stuff.
Yes. Thankfully. Thank God.
Yes. But it's gonna have the rules for boarding actions, which are it's interesting because they do mention that boarding actions at least will launch with 500-point missions. So it's 500 point 40k army, no vehicles, no dreadnoughts. It seems just infantry and elite units, or
All
elite
right.
infantry, because they specifically said no monsters or war machines. Well, I guess maybe dreadnoughts could fit. So
Well, aren't
I
dreadnoughts
think we're mostly gonna
monsters?
see like Terminators and Wraithguard and that stuff.
They'll be old kill team. Like back in 7th edition kind of kill team.
Yes, Kill Team 1.0.
So we can expect these books to coming out probably December for Abaddon. And Angron is obviously going to be late January, early February. Would be my guess. Because that's when World Eaters are supposed to be coming out, is sometime in January. January, February time frame. And then the other books will wait till we see when that happens. So that is coming out. Hopefully this does something towards the narrative of the game. I'm a little disappointed we haven't really found anything out about the Silent King. Like, what the hell is he doing? He just awoke one day, and then now that's pretty much it. But yes, I'm excited. I'm excited to see where this goes. I just hope it's not a big disappointment. I want stuff to happen. That's what I want.
Yeah, yeah. Which 40K is kind of allergic to that. In a way that AOS isn't. Like AOS lore actually has implications. Like one of the city. I mean, last time there was that giant city was destroyed. One of the cities that was a thing in the previous editions blew up, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in 40K, they invent this area called Vigilus, and then stuff happens, and then no more, and then I don't know. It
No one won.
feels inconsequential, right?
No one won.
So
Nothing
I think
happened.
the planet Vengeful Spirit is damaged, but like, okay, he's gonna fix it, right?
The only major
So
consequence that's ever happened
yeah,
was Cadia being destroyed.
right. Yeah, that was the last big thing I think that happened for the setting.
So let's see what happens. Hopefully, I'm hoping for good things. Moving on. We got World Eaters. We got to see Possessed, and we got to see Super Possessed. That was pretty much what I got from this. So, looking at these 8-bound here. Got your classic World Eaters with their chain axes, chain freaking nails in their head. I forget what it's just called, the nails, right?
there's nails.
Yeah. All being very super angry. And then you come down here, and then you got the Super Possessed. These are the 8 that have been that are working with the 8 demons inside of them, I believe. Like,
Yeah,
perfectionists.
8 demons, but the super possessed have become friends with the 8 demons, and all the demons are now friends with each other. So there's more control. Yeah.
Yes. Interesting lore. Interesting looking models. How do you feel about these?
These are easily the lamest models in this launch. I these are the lamest Legion specific units in my opinion. I really don't like these.
Yeah, well, I mean, you gotta give them this. They follow in Korn's footsteps of being always the lamest models.
It's true. Like, yeah, it's weird not having a Terminator unit, considering Thousand Sons of Death Guard got one. And instead we get these guys, which they're just bigger berserkers. I mean, they don't even. It's one of those things where, like, oh, they have 8 demons in them. Like, okay, they don't look like they have 8 demons in them. They look like they're mutants. They've been exposed to the warp too long. Like, if you told me that, it would still make sense. There's nothing uniquely possessy about these units, in my opinion. Even the exalted ones, like, I wish they would just go ham with the having 8 arms, or they have beast, like, actually demonic faces, not just like these kind of demon faces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like the guy with the mouth in his hand, like more of that. Like I feel that the exalted 8-bound should be the regular 8-bound, and then the exalted 8-bound should be this even more demonic, like mutated looking unit, because these guys for me aren't doing it.
Yeah, well, they're not the best looking models. But
Yeah.
it is what it is with Sasquatch feet over here. We got other models. We got the Jackals, which are the not Terminators, cultists of the Corn units, which just look ridiculous, but fun ridiculous,
Yeah, these are actually kind of ridiculous in a cool way.
I'm looking at this
Like,
guy. This is freaking chain sword is bigger than the human.
Yeah, like this girl's chainsword is taller than her torso. It's like, oh, it's kind of funny. But yeah, I mean, yeah, because like this guy's a chainsaw hand spike. I mean, these fit. This is like a corp. Like if you added this to a corpse grinder cult in Necromunda, it would fit. These are just they work. They're Cloran cultists.
Yes, because they're not gonna get the Zangor or the
Yeah,
Plague Bearers kind of treatment. So
yeah.
might as well just make the cultists more stabby, which I would hope would mean they are a bit. Saying they're a bit better would be not true. So I would assume they're gonna get like +1 strength, and that's about it. Maybe a little bit, one more attack. Maybe +2 if they got the chainsword. That's about it, but I don't really expect them to. I don't really see you marching these across the battlefield. But then again, I could be wrong. Don't know any of the rules. Don't know any of the stratagems. And when these come out, they're going to be more tailored towards 10th edition than they are 9th edition. So the rules, their gameplay and rules might not make any sense when they come out, given that they're not built for 9th edition. But we'll see. And then we got the Lord on the Juggernaut. I don't know. Any model that's not a bloodletter always looks ridiculous on the Juggernaut to me.
Yeah, and this is ridiculously cool. I wish there was a unit of it. Like this is just kind of dumb in a cool way. I mean, yeah, you're right. Anything that's not a bloodletter looks very silly on a Juggernaut. Keep thinking about it. But at least he's an armored Chaos Space Marine in a Juggernaut. Like it's a simple concept and it works. But I really wish there was a unit of it and not just a Lord. Because then he'll look even more silly. Like you have this one guy on the Juggernaut,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have probably hanging out with some bikes or something, which is weird. So yeah, I mean, I really like this. Probably the out of the ones that were revealed, this is the best one.
I would agree. I would agree with that. I think that is it. Yes. No, what are the World Eater Terminators called? Butchers?
The Red Butchers.
No red butchers. Because they're just showing off the normal Chaos Terminators right there. So that's kind of sad. But that is that. And then last but not least, the big model, the one that I thought was going to invoke Dark Mechanicum, was revealed. And it is a giant demon. Vashtor, which we saw on the cover of the book, one of the books there. But there he is, full model. A demon with a lot of bladed wings. Or not Abaddon. Belcor hates this guy, but Belcor hates everyone, so it's not really saying any much to that. What are your thoughts on this model, Mr. Chaos?
I think he's okay. So I actually straight up play Dark Mechanicum in 30k, but I play like not really chaosy yet Dark Mechanicum. Like my Forge World is a Dark Mechanicum Forge, or becomes a Dark Mechanicum Forge World, and I play a Trader Army. So I have a soft spot for Dark Mechanicum, but this if looking at this model, I think Demon. I don't think Dark Mechanicum, because for me Dark Mechanicum, the aesthetic is more machines with demonic features, like the Helldrake, like the Defiler, like the smaller Fiend and Forge Fiend. I mean, yeah, they have fleshy bits, but they're primarily a machine. This guy is more of a demon with machine parts, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Which isn't necessarily my thing. I mean, I think he's cool. I don't think he sucks or he's a waste or anything. I generally think he's a cool model, but is one of those models that is just not for me. I mean, if I played Ruin Storm, I could easily fit this guy in a Ruinstorm Demon's army for 30k, or in the Chaos Demon Codex, right? And if this is Dark Mechanicum, and Dark Mechanicum is full of the more classic looks of robots with demon features, and they have this guy leading him, I'm cool with that. But if Dark Mechanicum was composed of, again, demons with machine parts, may not be. Yeah, I probably wouldn't be as hyped. Like, this guy belongs more in Chaos, the Codex, the Chaos Demons Codex, and not the Dark Mechanicum Codex, in my opinion, based on what I think the Dark Mechanicum aesthetic is. So,
Right.
yeah.
Well, I think he's a pretty cool design.
Yeah, he's cool, for sure.
I do want to know a little more about him. Would I pick him up? Probably not. But he is very cool. Well, that would be it. So, what would you rate this Warhammer preview?
I guess 7. Solid, all classical stuff, but none of it was for me.
I'd rank it like a 6 in my opinion. I don't think it was that great of a reveal. There was nothing that was like, wow, gotta buy this. All right, have to have this.
Right.
Granted, I mean, a lot of it was Goblin stuff, Goblin Beastmen. I mean, it was all Chaos show. It was pretty much a Chaos Greenskin show right there. So, but yeah, I'd rate it about a 6. Nothing there. I'm happy everything's there, but nothing there for me. Moving on. That is it. That is it for all the Warhammer news. We have caught up with everything. Do you have you seen the World Eater leaks?
I have.
So you know all the units that are in there?
Yeah, so everything's been revealed, more or less.
Yep. I'm looking at it right now.
And that's it. And this is a Thousand Suns global release, not a Death Guard global release. And I was talking to Will all over the weekend, and I feel that this is gonna be I think Death Guard is the exception. I think Emperor's Children will be this size in terms of release scale. I don't think it's gonna be. You're not gonna see the amount of kits a Death Guard got. I think so.
Yeah, there are 22 units in here. And only like 5, 10 of these units are, new. As in like new models. Everything else is pretty much the same. World Eater Terminators, which are just going to be Terminators. Hellbrutes. Their only fast attack are Spawn. Land Raider, Predator, Defiler, Forge Fiend, Mauler Fiend, Helldrake, Rhino, Lord of Skulls.
Yeah, pretty standard stuff. Nothing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's the implication for me, that the revelation that this is going to be a Thousand Suns level release. That's the big deal. But I mean, it's what it is, right? You can't pull a Death Guard for everything.
Yeah, well, Death Guard's more like character based though. They have so many characters, but they also have the unique vehicles as well, which rubs me the wrong way.
About characters, right? They have another. They have a Terminator unit and they have 2 Terminator units. They have vehicles, and yeah, they have the bullet drone and the gun, the other drone, and then the Plague Burst Crawler. World Leaders and Thousand Suns don't really have vehicles.
Nope, we have no vehicles whatsoever.
And, yeah, Thousand Suns have a Terminators. World Eaters have the 8-bound, and then Death Guard have Death Shroud and Blight Lords.
Yeah, not fair, I'm telling you. But Angron is 350 points. Which I think is cheap. I'm trying to remember how much Magnus is right now. Or I'm looking up how much Magnus is right now because I can't remember what his points value is. He gets reduced like every big update. Anyways, while I'm looking that up, what other news is there?
I think that's it.
Ultramarines just won a big tournament recently. I don't know if you saw that.
I did, yeah, but
I know you're
that
not.
means Beastmen didn't get nerfed.
I know. It is interesting how that happens. Normal Space Marines obviously win, or can win, which is weird considering I would have expected Votan or Harlequins or something. Something
Right.
ain't right going on over there. But that happened. Who else won a tournament? I think, I don't know. Did we talk about this last time? Thousand Sons won a tournament recently too. So it's good to see that diversity is happening. It's not a consistent Tyranids, Harlequins, winning everything constantly.
Right.
So it looks like they're getting their balance down pretty good, I would say. Given that we're getting here, I cannot find it. I would have to do a whole new list here. Let's see anything else. The Meta Watch. GW claimed that they didn't go far enough on the meta. The last 40k update, which is true. Because the last time we looked at it, we both agreed that there was really no changes that happened in the last update that they did. So it was kind of like nothing. So they kind of addressed it a week ago or 2 weeks ago, saying that they're probably going to do a little bit. They're going to do better on the updates so that they actually have meaningful change. But that's pretty much all the news I can think of right now off the top of my head. I got nothing else. So I'm ready for the hobby rants.
Yeah, let's do it.
Go for it. What have you been hobbying?
30k, lots of 30k. Played some games over the weekend. Started a beginner league at TTTG in Burbank. So yeah, dropping my Mechanicum. That's been fun. Starting a Solar Auxilia army with some Ultramarines allies. I think it's gonna be my New Year project. And trying to get some practice games of Legion for some tournaments coming up. Also trying to work on the Blood Angels for LVO. Like I have a 3k list, but there's stuff I want to add to it, and I'm trying to. And they're all like tanks, and I hate painting tanks. I hate building tanks. I actually got myself to build a couple tanks, and I just gotta paint them. But yeah,
I see. Yeah, well, for me, I got 2 40k games in, surprisingly.
Nice.
One was I play my Thousand Sons because it's what I'm taking to the tournament. So I did one game against Grey Knights, which obviously the superior Psychers won that magic battle there. It didn't even become a very close game after turn 3. After turn 3, it was pretty much over. But we both had a pretty pitiful psychic phase 1, because that was just awful rolling on both our parts. Couldn't get any spells off, and if we did, we'd be denying them. So always fun to happen there. And then I fought against Travis's I'm putting up air quotes here, custodians, and that was painful. I lost that game.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that was when your army has a 4-up feel no pain. That is.
Yeah, that'll do it.
No, I'm calling BS on that. That shouldn't even be a thing. 5 up maybe, but 4 up? Oh my god. I
Like
sent
double out or anything like in 30K.
I sent my entire psychic army and my shooting into one dreadnought,
Yeah.
and I couldn't kill it because he was just making those 4 up feel no pain saves like nothing. No matter how many mortal wounds I put into that thing, it was not dying. So I learned my lesson. I learned what I need to do a bit better. I was also testing out a few things with my list, so it solidified what I needed to do. But other than that, I just got I ordered some paints from GW. I ordered some Crypt Ghouls. I think that's what they are, right? Crypt Ghouls, the big ones. Or Crypt Horrors. That's what they are. Crypt Horrors. Ordered some Crypt Horrors. Gonna go pay my friend to convert me some spawn out of the Crypt Horrors. Because I know you were mentioning the Diablo demons last time, but I don't want to use those models. As cool as they are, they don't scream spawn. So
that is fair.
Yeah, so hopefully I can get these built and painted before LVO. We'll see what happens. I'll see how creative my builder will be. But that is that. Obviously, I'll be playing some more Darktide later because there's a chance they're a bit wishy-washy right now if they're gonna wipe the data of the beta testing, or if they're gonna keep it so it crosses over to the live game. So I'm hoping that they keep it. All my effort isn't for nothing, but if not, I didn't sink too much time into the game, so I won't be too sad about it. But that is next week that game comes out on the 30th. So I'm very hyped to get that going. And obviously this week is a holiday, so I will not be gaming at all. It'll mainly be hobbying this week. Anything else you want to add before we end out here?
Yep.
All right then. Well, for us Americans out there, happy Thanksgiving. And we'll see you all next week.
Later, everyone.